for another and respect one for another, which will produce harmony. Lord, we just give you praise for all of your blessings. In Jesus' name, we thank you. Amen.
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 And the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Washington County Sheriff Department is now in session with Honorable Board President Carl McGee presiding.
Leave it alone. We good. All right. Thanks everybody for coming out. Yeah. You did good. Appreciate you. Yeah, but he had a bump on his head look like this weekend, so he'll be all right. Okay. Once again, want to thank everybody for coming out. And on the agenda, I have some additions. Of course, the planning department. Okay, and we'll also add state aid engineer, Mr. Harry Lee James, the road department. We've got, I hope, Mr. Demetric Warren for the sports specs report. But if you all allow me to kind of bring him up, we're going to take an out-of-town guest first, then we get Mr. Warren in and out. He has some things he has to do. I'd like to move him up on the agenda, and we'll bring him in behind state aid engineer. And we'll add the election commissioners as well. We have contract negotiations for the executive session. Is there anything else for executive session? Any other additions? Need a motion? And a second to approve. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And the minutes. We got a motion to approve and a second. Any questions, comments, deletions are necessary? The motion's been made. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? I got one nay. All right, first up on the agenda, if you all would allow, Mr. Harry Lee James from State Aid, you here? Come on up if you would, Mr. James. Hey. Okay. Mr. James, we appreciate you coming up and sharing with us. I guess everybody around the table knows Mr. Harry Lee James, our State Aid engineer. And Mr. James, we just want you to come out and visit with us, kind of talk to us a little bit about Washington County and the opportunities that State Aid provides and exactly how we performed against those opportunities. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I appreciate the invitation, and I've got with me Jay Richardson, the district engineer that serves with your area.
If you want to bring him up, that's fine.
Come up too, because
yes,
he's
sir.
more up to date on the project. I handle more the money issues and everything.
Mr. Jay Richards is his name. Just want to add it for the minutes. Mr. Richards?
Jay Richardson.
Yeah, he
works for me in Jackson.
I'm the district engineer, Central District, Washington. It's one of my counties.
All right. All right, Ms. Richardson, when you speak loud towards the mic so we can all
Yes,
hear
sir.
you. If you would like to make a presentation to us, please go ahead.
Well, do you want to just ask some questions, or
If just tell us exactly what you all do, the opportunities you provide for counties across the state, and then we'll get into how well Washington County is doing against those opportunities.
All right. Well, we provide funding to all the 82 counties.
Uh-huh.
That the legislature provides to y'all, and we administer that money to the counties over the board term. We work in the board term, same board term that y'all are elected in, January 1 through December 31, 4 years later. All the money that comes in is allocated by formula to the counties. We take that money, project it out, because y'all are operating on credit on the front end of the board term, because that money's not collected. It's collected on a monthly basis. I think you're collecting money out of the vending machine. You go to it monthly and you pick it up and you put it in the state treasury, and then we allocate it out by the formulas that are approved by the legislature for the counties.
All right.
From that, there are basically two sources of revenue. State aid revenue, which comes in through the fuel tax, and then you've got two programs we feed for bridges from the use taxes. Newly created state aid bridge program, and then the local system bridge program, which is 2.5% each of the use taxes collected every month. So it's got a minimum $20 million a year, minimum guarantee for each pot of money. State aid funds has a minimum of $48 million per year, $4 million a month. So there's always money coming in, there's always money that, available typically for the counties for that project. So we push it out, and then we rely on the counties to approve the programs and send them back to us, for approval, and then we kind of notch the money. We don't encumber it at that time. It's not spent. Think of a grocery list. You go to the grocery store, you got on there, you want to buy some Folgers coffee, you want to buy a loaf of bread, and you want to buy some potato chips. You get up to the top and you decide you don't want the potato chips. Well, you can pull that off and add something else to it. But until you actually let that project, we cover those funds through us by board order. We don't move funds until we get a board order from the, fully executed board order from the board. That's when that money is basically off the table. You can't spend on anything else.
Okay, Lee.
I've been concerned, is it possible, and I don't know this, if it's true or not, can any of that money, if we don't use it in a timely manner, can we lose any of that money?
Yes.
Whether you can,
Yes.
whether it be, and how long does it take? Is there a timeline? Or would they just distribute it to other counties that are using some of their money in a timely manner?
That's the basis for it, and it is right now in statute. Your local system bridge program money, you basically got 2 years to spend it.
And which dollars is it? Which dollars is, we have 2 years to spend it, we made us $60.
Well, is part of you.
Okay.
It's part of your.
I said, you gave us 3 sets of dollars we received, and you said it takes 2 years. Is it all the dollars, use tax 2 years, state aid 2 years, everything's 2 years?
No, it's just your LSBP.
That's why I was asking which one was 2 years, so we all got the same rate.
Your LSBP money.
Thank you.
You got 2 years on it, and if you don't spend it, then I have the ability to come in and basically go through a rescission process, as in statute. And then what I do is I accumulate it, and then there's other counties have projects that can run out of funds, and I make those funds available to them.
And that's the only one, the state aid is not like that. I mean, as far as.
State aid is not like
Yeah,
that.
but the
money,
LSVP
because
can.
the state aid bridge program is considered part of the state aid program. It's just funded with another set of funds, set of funds that comes into that, but they all accumulate in the same, pot, right now, but, you never know, the legislature can, what the legislature give it, the legislature can take it away.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, James, right now in Washington County, you talked to us about LSVP, SAVP, those kinds of things. Exactly how is Washington County performing against those opportunities?
Okay, at the beginning of the board term, we sent y'all in early January a letter with a revenue projection
Not many.
that said what we anticipate y'all are gonna have, plus what you carried forward from last time. For your state aid program, you're looking at $3.1 million in revenue to spend over the course of the board term. Part of it was carried over from last term, almost $300,000 from last board term.
And this is state aid.
State aid program.
Okay.
It's typically for your roads. For your local system bridge program, you've got a total of $4.63 million available to you. $2.5 million was carryover from last board term. It was unspent. Because you didn't let a single LSVP project last board term.
When was the last time we led a project in Washington County?
Can you,
Excuse
before we
me,
do
Ms.
that, can we go on to use tax since we breaking down each dollars?
Ms.
We
Brooks.
didn't get no number for
Ms.
use
Brooks.
tax.
Ms. Brooks, out of order. You gotta let me run my meeting.
I understand,
All
but
right,
he
so-
was breaking down each dollars and we didn't hear
Ms.
nothing about use tax. Could he tell us the numbers for use tax if we don't wanna know those numbers?
we're gonna come to you when you're ready now.
I understand, but
All
if
right.
he's gonna talk about the dollars, let's talk about all the dollars, not bits and pieces of dollars.
We're gonna come to you when you're ready now.
I understand, but I would like to hear from him on use tax.
All right, we're gonna come to you when you're
I
ready.
understand, but if he's gonna talk about the dollars, let's talk about all the dollars, not piece it out.
We will.
Okay,
All
sir,
right.
could you tell us about use
Nope.
tax?
Ms. Brooks, you're gonna have to be in order,
Is there some conspiracy going on that we're not aware of?
only if it's right there.
I'm just asking you.
But you've got to allow me to conduct the meeting.
I understand, but I asked a question, and I can't ask a
But you're-
question.
you're out of order, Ms. Brooks.
How is it out of order because I asked a question?
Because I was already in the process of asking.
And what was
So
your
let me-
question?
Thank you, Ms. Brooks. When was the last time we led a project in Washington County?
I have got, I think one of my accountants go back, pull up some information, and it looks like the last LSVP project was in 2019, maybe October. And then we led a state aid project back in September of 18, which was about 2 months after I started at state aid. I think maybe there's been one more since then.
Well, we've got a 7M project. Was, that was led, and is ongoing currently, just to overlay several roads within the county.
And the
Now, what
reason I-
project is that again,
and
sir? I didn't hear him.
It's 7M, so it's SAP 76 7M.
And what the project, what roads are those?
Several roads, so several roads within the county.
I'm talking, what roads are they?
Old Leland Highway, Old Highway 61, Stonebrook, and Royceville Road.
And this project comes from what sets of dollars?
That's the state aid fund.
Okay.
Ms. Brooks? Ms. Brooks?
If you have any other questions, I'll bring them up.
If I have any?
No, I
but
said if
you-
they have any more questions, I would bring them up.
Oh, you don't have, but you're good right now.
Right now, until he
All
says
right.
something I don't understand.
Okay, well, thank you, Ms. Brooks.
You're welcome.
You had talked about the last time we led a project. The question I have for you is, we did a bridge over in Leland, the Bree Street Bridge. There's also a Furrow Bridge in process. Do those projects qualify, even though Bree Street is within the corporate limits of Leland? And of course, Furrow is out off 61, down south in Hollandale area. Do those projects qualify for state aid funding?
If they're on a state aid route, regardless of whether they are within a municipality or not, they will qualify for state aid funding, provided y'all have an agreement with the municipality that will allow them to use those funds for that program, for that project. Just
Okay.
because they're within a municipality does not disqualify them, because obviously at some point that road was not in that municipality. So, then they expanded their city limits or
No,
whatever.
no, sir, that's not accurate. Actually, I came to your office and I did ask about the route. And actually, Bree Street Road has always been in the heart of Leland. It was never annexed into Leland, but I did come to your office and they showed me the route, and Bree Street Road was never on the route. They showed me where it was on the route is Old 61, and that bridge is nowhere near Old 61. The city has applied for funding in the past for projects, but Old 61 is on the route, but they were very clear to me that Bree Street Bridge was not in the route when I went to your office.
But if you all would double check that for us and let us know.
We will, and typically the bridges that are funded are ones that are on the state aid route, or they meet the local system requirements for functional classification of the route.
And that may require a bit of clarification there, is if the bridge was determined not to be on the state aid route.
That's what they told
It
me.
could have been qualified for the LSVP fund.
Okay.
So sometimes it's kind of how you ask the question.
Well-
Can we use state aid funds to build this bridge?
Okay.
The answer may be no. However, there may be another option as far as the funds
All right.
administered.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Only
ma'am.
thing was
Ms.
when I
Ms.
came
Ms.
to your,
Ms. Brooks,
I mean, he was talking, I want to respond because it was in my district.
Would you please wait
No,
your
but
turn?
I am
I think
waiting
we
my
had a
turn.
prayer for decorum in the meeting, and I thank you for that, Bishop. And
May I
that's what we would
speak
like to
next?
have. Well, I got a supervisor's hand up.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Please.
Is it common practice, just say for instance, if there is a bridge on a state aid route, but it is also, let's just say if the funds wasn't available and we use county funds for that bridge, is it typical and common practice that we still send those plans to be approved through state aid just because in the future if there's issues and stuff with that, if that bridge is on a state aid route but still built by county funds, when we build that, is it typical and common practice to send those plans to state aid to be approved as we build those?
Unless we fund it, we typically do not see it on the front end. We only see the results of it because we maintain the bridge inventory for Washington County and the other 81 counties. And that's when we see the as-built plans and the construction records and things like that. But we typically do not review any plans that are not funded by program.
Okay. Back in,
Can I speak
oh, I'm
now?
sorry.
Thank you so kindly.
Yes, ma'am, sorry, go ahead.
Sir, going back to state aid, when I went to the office, they were very clear to me that it was not on state aid. So was there a certain question I should have asked to find out additional funding? Because I was there to find out what dollars was available for Bree Street, and they were very clear to me that we could not use state dollars. This been almost 3 years ago when we first started this project. I really don't know.
I mean, I've been privy to the conversation.
Yes, sir.
It's hard to
And,
say.
and,
but-
and I will say the gentleman was very kind. He went through the whole state aid route for me. He showed me what in Leland was in state aid and what dollars was available. But prior to, he never did. They were very clear that it was that street was never in the state aid route at all. Lorenzo, you got to come in.
Yes,
Excuse me, wait a minute. Let me do that, Mr. Brooks. I'll get to him in a minute.
Okay,
Go ahead,
because I know
Stan.
he was trying.
Yeah.
I know he was gonna probably go into that
You run the
project.
hassle, let me run the meeting. I recognize when it's time.
All right.
Ms. Nancy,
right.
you all good? No, you stay there.
No, I just
You
want
okay?
to. No, I'm not good because I want to get to understand because he
All right,
helped me with
but
this
let me be
bridge.
clear one more time. Let me recognize people come to speak. Let me do my job.
Do your job then.
All right. Ms. Nancy, since you're up, would you please?
just to provide clarity, state aid is right and Mr. Brooks is right. It's just the fact that at the time, state aid, we already had, LSBP and SAP programs, you know, so at the time, we already had, our funding program and Bridge Street Bridge needed to be, done before the school year, remember? So it was more a county-made decision to go ahead and use county because the county have more bridges out than we have funding. So at that time, we already had LSBP and SAP program. And when you're saying program, mean like they forbid to be, we submitted all our paperwork to state aid, they looked it over, prioritize it, and they sent us a letter saying that these programs are programming, if I'm correct.
So let me get this straight, so it was recognized at the time that, say, LSBP money could have been used technically to replace that bridge. It was eligible to use that fund money.
Right.
So when the inquiry came to state aid, is this bridge eligible for LSBP funding?
Right.
You determined that it was. However, the available LSBP funding at the time was obligated by program for other projects. However, that money can be, just because the job is programmed, and it, on this current status of funds may say that, you know, for the available funds, you have 5 bridges programmed, those can be canceled, and the funds made available for use on those projects. So all of that is, just because it's programmed doesn't mean you can't change.
Well, I would want to cancel no.
County's priority.
Well, you wouldn't want to cancel nobody else's project if they already had their project program. Am I correct?
Okay.
That's totally
Lee?
So, make sure I'm right, since, as far as LSBP, I'm just talking about that right now. So there's not been anything used on that since 18, is that correct, is what I understand you to say?
There's not been a drawdown of those funds since that project was obligated in 2000.
In 18?
I thought you said 2019.
No, the state aid project was in 19.
Okay. So, when was the
No,
re-
excuse me, you're correct. It was 19 for the LSPP
I'm just going
and
to
18 for the state aid project.
Okay. But what I'm getting at is, so when was the Bree Street Bridge why wouldn't those funds been available at that time then?
Well, they would have been, if the board had made that a priority,
Yeah.
canceled programs to free up their funds, programmed that job under their LSBP funding, then it could have been done.
Well, I mean, and I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to us as a board.
Right.
Obviously, we still hadn't spent any of the LSVP funds at this point, so it wasn't too important to us that we couldn't have stopped one of those and use some of those funds for that bridge. So that's not, y'all's decision, I understand. I'm just concerned that we've had this much time go by, and you may not be at liberty to say this, but I look around and I'm sure that our surrounding counties have used their LSVP funds. That's what concerns me, that we lose some of that funding because we have not used it, and that's what's concerning to me.
I have
Okay.
a question.
Let me, Renzo, I gotta get her first.
Now, what can we use LSVP, because I got some roads I really need done. What can we use those dollars for?
LSBP,
Yes, sir.
just a local system bridge.
Just on what?
A local system bridge project.
Just
not-
number bridges.
Nothing, no roads at all, just a local system bridge.
Okay. And then state aid, have our state aid been programmed so far?
You have one project currently on the books with a state aid fund.
And what project is that?
That is SAP 7636, and that is a bridge, also bridge replacement project.
That's for state aid.
That's the state aid funds. You currently have no SABP project program. So of the almost $2 million that you have available, SABP funds, there's nothing programmed.
Okay, we just voted on, no, we didn't. We was supposed to vote on some bridges. Didn't we vote on some bridges recently?
And now they coming up today.
Oh, they come up today.
No, you all approved in April the SABP.
And then I know they're supposed to pass something now on what bridge we gonna submit. Am I correct, Mr. President?
No, well, he's incorrect because according to the minutes, we didn't approve anything April 16th meeting.
Okay, but I'm talking about the same roads.
No, we haven't approved anything just yet.
But I'm saying we're supposed to prove it today.
I think that's what yes, tip, okay, yeah.
Okay, so that would go towards state aid, am I correct?
If it's a road project, yes, ma'am, it would be under the state aid fund.
So state aid is strictly roads.
No, so,
State aid is roads and bridges.
yes, ma'am,
And the LSVP is strictly
local system bridge.
local system bridges. Now I wanna go to use tax. So what is the time frame on use tax? Cause I know we haven't been using our use tax. And what is the cutoff and how we lose those dollars? It's cause I don't wanna lose those dollars.
Use tax is collected monthly by us. 2.5% goes to the local system bridge program, 2.5% goes to the state aid bridge program. It was, up until last year, it was 5% that went to the local system bridge program. Those monies were collecting at double the rate just because of everybody buying stuff online.
Right.
So the funds were accumulating at record pace, as evidenced by the twice annual payments you were getting from the state for use tax to the county, which I think last time y'all got like $730,000 in January,
Okay.
and that probably is gonna continue for a while, as long as people are still shopping by credit card.
Have our numbers dropped on as far as use tax? 'Cause they was explaining to us at the meeting, MAS, they said that if you don't use a certain amount by a certain period of time, they will reduce your amount. And I wanna know if our amount been reduced.
We don't, that's not our program, so we
Okay.
don't, I have no idea whether your numbers are up or down, whatever, it's restricted what
So
y'all.
who makes that decision for use tax?
What do you mean, who makes
Well,
that?
they was telling, I mean, first of all, so state aid don't come up with the formula for use tax?
No, they use our formula, but we don't administer that program. We don't
Okay,
do program.
who administers use tax?
That comes out of the Department of Revenue.
Oh, so they administer everything.
Well, they send the money out.
But I'm saying, who administers the program?
No, well, the money's sent to the county and y'all administer it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You good, Ms. Brooks?
Yeah.
All right. In 2021, that was legislation where we actually received maybe 1.1 million, something like that, for two bridges. I think they were SA 76 280 and SA 76 304, both on Winterville Priscilla Road. we haven't done those projects. Is that money still available?
Were those under the ERVR program? That's not our program. We don't have anything to do with that. We don't administer it. All we do is take the results of it, and
Okay.
suck it up into the bridging authority. So we
All right.
don't review plans, we don't do anything unless the counties ask us to.
All right, I was concerned about it because it asked for an extension, and, you know, we got the extension, and we still haven't used the funds. That's trying to make sure we didn't lose those funds.
Well, then you may want to check again, because they're subject to rescission as well if they're not utilized.
Okay. Oh, Lee, sorry.
Those plans are with MDOT now.
All right. Oh, all right, thank you, Ms. Anson.
Is it unusual to go this long without using LSBP funds? Is it unusual to go this long?
I would hope each county would spend their money, as they get it, as they receive it. It's not made to sit in the bank. I mean, we all know what inflation did to everybody over the past 4 years. Things just cost more, so you could have done a lot more with it if you'd spent it early in the term as opposed to waiting till the end of the term or not spending it at all.
Are we at the point where we're going to lose any of that money?
Yes, sir.
We are at that point. What would it take not to lose that money?
This year, nothing.
We're going to lose
You're gonna
something?
lose that money,
How much is this?
almost $1 million.
You're gonna lose what?
1 million.
$1 million,
For LSPP?
LSBP.
I'm concerned about this because the plans are with state aid right now. So even if the plans are with state aid, we submitted that last year, and we're going through the process of PSNE. So how is that eligible to be, plans, waiting for approval, and we can let this summer?
Well, of the 5 LSPP jobs you have on the books currently, 2 of those, we just received a program on. 2 others. Let's see, 28, 29. So 30 and 31, we're essentially at the PSNE stage. However, those I think have been held up due to the submittal of the seismic checklist, geotech reports. In fact, inquiries to receive that information have been months long in the process, which held them up in the PSNE stage, which is the preliminary survey and engineering review. And that's the initial, early in the plan stage. One of these jobs, LSBP 7632, is as far as the assembly stage, right? So it's gone all the way through the office review process. Plans returned to the county engineer. Now we are, should be assembling the contract documents, getting that ready to bid, right? So of the 5, we have 1 that is fairly close. However, still have not received the right-of-way and utility certifications for that job. So a lot of times these jobs will get to the assembly process, and there can be a hang-up with the acquisition of right-of-way at the end. So just because the county engineer might go through the entire review and plan process with us, the county's responsibility of then relocating utilities or acquiring right-of-way has to be done before we can actually advertise the project.
And you're waiting on us for that now?
For all 5 jobs, that will have to be done ultimately, right? So you're still quite a ways away from these things actually getting built, because that really has to start. Project is programmed, there needs to be a push to get these things ready to go, and all of the pieces of the puzzle falling together so that a couple of years after they're programmed, you're advertising them.
So it's safe to say, when you before you even get to the point to advertise, you're looking at 2 years in advance before you get to,
I'm saying that if you look at a time horizon and all of the things, are done systematically in a timely fashion, I'd say 2 years is probably on the long end.
oh,
Right.
what's the average end then?
It can happen very quickly under certain circumstances, within 6 to 8 months, right? I would say some counties process, and it's handled differently. I mean, 82 counties in the state, the relationships with attorneys and constituents and these kinds of things, you know, can drastically change the timeline.
I want to go back to the right of ways. What is the turnaround time? Like, you trying to move certain utilities, is that normal? Because I know when we were doing the Bree Street, I literally had to call the mayor to get them to move it because it was moving so slow. What is the turnaround time average on getting that done with the utilities?
Please, Harry.
Is there an average? No, it's just whatever it takes to do it, and a lot of these timelines are not project specific. I mean, it takes whatever it takes.
Right.
What we do as far as when funds are looked at to be taken away from the county, you take your cash balance, June 30th, you look at what has been spent, you look at what you received, and then if it shows a negative, then we're gonna come in there and we're gonna take, you know, what you should have spent over that past 2 years, what we anticipate.
Oh,
Can we
please, Ms. Hanson,
file, can
I'm sorry,
we
Ms. An-
file an appeal on that?
Well, there is a process in statute where you, not necessarily an appeal, but you're allowed to, you know, show justification why you should retain those funds. But it's gonna be kind of hard to say I need these funds when you didn't spend any of them past 4 years.
Yes. But it is a state statute for us to file. Do you know what that statute is? Could you send that to me when you get a chance, when you get to your
I'll
office?
send it to the board president.
Thank you, that's kind. And Mr. President, when you send it to you, would you forward it to me?
Yeah,
Thank you kindly.
you finished?
Until I hear something else, I may have a question about.
Mr. Anderson, if you would, please.
I still need clarity. I know you're saying that you're gonna lose $1 million, right?
Roughly, yes.
You will make that decision to take away the funding, even though we have the plan submitted to state aid.
That ain't got anything to do with it. It's like spending money on a bank account. You've got to obligate that money, which requires taking bids, send me a board order saying, put this money, move this from the unobligated to the obligated.
So there was never board
Mr.
order
Anderson.
saying that?
Ms. Brooks, please, let Mr. Anderson finish, please.
Okay.
I didn't understand that. You said that, can you repeat that again? I think
You've got, what you've got to do to obligate funds, you've got to advertise a completed, ready-to-go project.
about when.
Well, there's no date on the thing. I mean, right now, those June 30th is the date, and there's no way you can get a project obligated by the end of the month in less than 2 weeks.
So obligated means advertising meetings, right?
No, obligated means you spent the money. It goes from your non-cash account to where you can't touch that money again for any other project.
So you're saying, does that be advertised or has to be split to, a check wrote out to the contractor?
We have to have that project in our accounting system so we know who that contractor is, what the cost of that bid is, what the engineering is, all of that. So
By June the 30th?
At the project fund, you know, when we advertise, take bids, the job's awarded, board order then creates the project fund, right, that I give to you, that you get board to sign.
We did that about 2 years, 3 years ago.
That's right, for the 7-year project.
Right.
So that creates the project fund. That takes money out of the available funds to the county and puts them to a specific project.
But it's not programmed, right? We're not talking about programming.
That would be the creation of a project fund through a board order after that job has been awarded.
So, okay, so if, it sounds like it has to be awarded, like a contract bidded out and, okay, I asked that question.
All right, now, how long has this money been available? How long has this process been? I heard him say 2 years ago. I'm sorry. And what's happened over the past 2 years? Seemed like there was some inactivity of what has gone on to take so long. And now we're about to lose this money at the end of the month. What has happened? From your perspective, let's say that, yes. Nothing?
It's up to the board to push these projects along. I mean, we're reactive to what's been sent to us. We
Okay.
try to push it through as quickly as we can, but we make the counties aware of where there's a deficiency.
Okay.
Like Jay said, there's no right of way, if there's no environmental or they're lacking things in some part of the project development. But, these are your projects, they're not ours.
Good enough. Mr. Anderson, could you explain to the board what's taking so long? Give them a timeline from start to finish on this project. We're trying to figure out what happened.
He's saying that
Uh-uh.
they're using.
You tell us what you all have done, when you started.
So, the SVP, the 7628 is Nightingale Road, that's what he's talking about. SVP 76, Nightingale was closed, it's back open. 7629 Hanley Road, that's submitted to state aid. 7630 Baker Road, that's submitted to state aid. 7631 Burhead, that's submitted to state aid. When I say submitted, we're talking about plans in hand, and 7632, that's really Barry Road.
We-
So, in submitting it to state aid, just like Mr. Harry Lee said and Jay said, there's a lot of things going back and forth as far as what they need, what we submit, what they need, what we submit, what they need, what we submit. There has been some gaps in there, receiving it on their part and our part. But y'all understand, we have projects, they have projects. So we talk frequently on, I need something, they need something. I need something, they need something. So it's been going back and forth, back and forth. So that's why I'm concerned that you would, I guess, de-obligate some funding when you know that some plans are submitted. I can see if we just started the plans, going through this process. If we're going through this since, they have preliminary and they have field review. We went through all those. These are three reviews, and we're at the last stage of the review on Williams Bayou, Burdett, Baker. I wish I had the plans.
Lee,
How many counties are in the state of Mississippi?
82.
82. Out of those 82 counties, how many over a 4-year period, how many lose some of their funding to LSVP?
My list this year, we've got 32 counties.
Just losing
And a
some?
lot of it, well, potentially because of, as I said, the doubling up of the collection of use tax over the past couple of years. And that fund was created back in 2018. It came in and was collected at a fourth, a half, 3/4, and then it went to full funding, I think, in 22. And then it's collected at twice the rate that they ever anticipated. So those funds come in, they're not project specific, it's just to keep that cash balance down, and keep projects moving through the system.
I have a question.
All right, I'm gonna have to let Ms. Brooke go further.
Going back to the other question that Supervisor Gordon just asked, if you have 32 counties, have you ever thought about extending the time? Because that's a lot of counties in the state of Mississippi that possibly could lose some dollars.
Suit statute, and
So
that's
it
the purpose
just-
of it. When I take the money, I make it available to somebody else.
Mhm.
If you've got money in your account, you can still continue to push projects forward. It's just when you run out of money is when you're gonna
Now,
reach a brick wall.
So it's just a
Now-
matter of talking to transportation, getting it, changing this statute. It's just a matter of talking to the transportation committee and getting them to change the statute, that's it. Because if you got 32 counties, that's a lot of counties in the state of Mississippi that's losing dollars.
I'm gonna come right to you now, Milton. But the statute is there for a purpose and it serves. And I'm gonna say that because we as Washington County, we have benefited from other counties not spending their funds. When we've come up short and spent all that we had. And we actually had to ask for more assistance. Reed Road is a perfect example. And we got that extra assistance because other counties hadn't spent their money.
I hear you, but I just think that's unfair. And I'm gonna beat with transportation chairman and talk to him about that, because if we got counties losing dollars for whatever reason, if they're trying to get their dollars done, because everybody needs their money. And so this is more, I'm talking about holistically in the state of Mississippi, because a lot of our roads are real bad and we never know what each county is going on. I know it's a reflection of you, it's just a reflection of some state statutes that need to be amended as they amend every year during legislation session. So that's some bill I need to look at and make sure I push hard for that, to make sure everybody has the opportunity to spend their dollars effectively, no matter what's going on in their county.
I'm still coming, Mr. Anderson. Okay? I'm coming. But let me say this. That legislation is effective. Like I said, we've benefited from it. And when certain projects have been presented to this board and come before this board, and it's in the minutes. I have told you all, a year down the road, those projects would not be done. And it's not because of some bureaucratic process holding the process up. It's just historically here in our county, we've been extremely slow to provide any positive infrastructure progress. So it's not the legislation, it's our team. It's our team and the responsibility of moving these projects on. We've had projects down there now, we're about to lose $1 million. Not because they weren't submitted, it's because the follow-up wasn't done. Things turned in appropriately in time. Mr. Anderson, it's on you.
Okay, this is a prime example of what I was talking about. When you're saying that it's been slow as far as no bureaucracy in submitting these forms, this board all know that I've been trying since April to get something programmed and signed for these, to a new funding. And that was April. It's now June. These are just forms that I've submitted to the board. The board had already approved this. It's in the minutes that they approved these bridges, right? This April is June. That's 3 months just to get a form signed. So when you say there's not a holdup, and then so the next meeting, I'll be able to submit those forms, and it'll be July. So that's in response to you saying there's no bureaucracy. Second is you're saying that it takes time to, which I understand, it takes time to review plans, which we submitted last year. We're going back and forth. So the review was held up because we didn't have, I think it was seismic, some worksheets or something like that as far as the review of our plans that we submitted. Now these are like almost like full plans. There's a lot, while going through the technical part of it, there's a lot of things needed from state aid that has to be provided, I would say, for them to give their say so that you can advertise for a project. Now in April, I asked for a response on what be submitted following up in April. It's just sad to see, you know, state aid just popping up today at the request of who I do not know. But I haven't seen anything on my response on the seismic stuff that we submitted. So that's why I'm so surprised of if you're saying that nothing has been held up. That's not right, sir.
I said nothing be done, but go ahead.
That's my point. You saying nothing been done.
Right, you need to go ahead and wrap up.
So you saying nothing been done. So why is it taking so long for us to get approval since something's for April?
Lee, you gonna go ahead, Lee. Go ahead.
A couple things on that. On that, I'll address that first. Is the list you give us, number one, it's not in the minutes that we approved that, but also you bring us a list that we didn't approve. We got special projects in our district, and that's what we asked for a while back, to list those, not by the numbers, but by the actual bridges and where they're located. So we asked for that. The things that concern me, Lorenzo, is Club 17. I asked 3 years ago. I was told that project would be taken care of within a year. That's been over 3 years ago now. The next thing that really concerns me is that we're still dancing around. We still have millions of dollars that in the last 4 to 6 years that we have not used, and I think we're falling behind on that. I know we're falling behind, so that's what concerns me. But you say that we've asked for that list to specify, which bridges and that we want to do, and that way we can prioritize, no, I don't want this one, I want this one. And that's what we hadn't seen, so that's the reason.
Have anyone in here have not received that list? Have you not seen a bridge plan
I remember getting it.
In the last month?
over the last years?
We had that list, but that's what we were asking for. We wanted, how did you come up with that list? You just took all the bridges.
We had a whole bridge plan that we have 256 bridges, right? We started with 40 closed bridges on that list. out of 256, we had 40 closed bridges. And part of the bridge plan, which we submit to state aid, and everyone in the on the board has a copy of that bridge plan. We went through the list. We've been using the road department to cut that list down. We got down to 22, and because he's saying that there's no list, and we just submitted another copy of that list just last week, and we submitted that in April. So you're saying we're not getting a response from everyone. We have to submit a list, and we listed it by your district, we listed by your the name of the street, and we use the bridge number. So, and we have a list monthly on our project list. You can see a list of bridges, usually about 40 bridges on there. So when you're saying that you're still waiting on a list, this list has been provided several times. And you're saying that you can't make a decision on what bridge you want to choose, and we give you a list. We list the bridges that are closed in your district, and we're saying that, hey, we need to submit this to state aid.
Okay.
And you're saying we won't have a list.
You got to let him wrap it up, and then I've got to address something here.
I'll ask again then.
Go ahead.
Why hadn't Club 17 been done? And on your list.
That's a county project.
Okay, all right. Well, Ms. Brooks had a county project done in Leland. We've been able to get that repaired, $1 million bridge. So I'm asking Club 17 once again, on your list, you may have taken it off now because I asked you to take it off. How long has Wood Sawmill in my district been under design? For years now, under design. I finally said, if it's taking that long to design it, something's wrong. Just take it off. If you're not under design for several years, I just don't get that, and that's what that's
That's apples or oranges because we're talking about state aid. That's a county project.
We're not going
But let me ask you something, Mr. Anderson. You talking about Club 17. What is SA 76-142? That's a county project, SA?
SA what?
SA 76-142. I see that's a county project?
Sounds like a bridge.
Let me see.
That's the point we're making. That's Club 17, Mr. Anderson. That's Club 17, Mr. Anderson. Trust me, that's Club 17. And that's part of the problem.
The name of the road.
You, and I hate to go there, and I appreciate the prayer, Tom, but the facts are what they are. You always told us there was 2 years of inactivity because we couldn't do anything, because the previous engineer was working on projects that they hadn't completed. Now those contracts were out for bid, contracts. So we couldn't break them. If we had to pay them off. But, J.R. Ms. Harley, is there anything that precludes or denies an incoming engineering service from doing work if an outgoing engineering firm is completing contracts that have already been let? Is there anything that precludes them from moving forward other bridge opportunities within that county?
Mr. President,
Not your
That's not a
turn.
state aid question.
because that's not accurate.
It's not your turn. That's a
Y'all
question
pick-
for them.
But they're not accurate.
No, if those projects were led by and being administered by previous county engineer or whatever,
Yes.
those funds were taken out of the available funds and put over here to that, so it had no bearing on what they were able to do going forward.
Okay.
Again, these are y'all's projects, they're
Right.
not our
Right.
projects.
Right.
So
So
we're reactive to anything y'all send us, so we expect when the assembly comes in, that it be complete and
Okay.
not be deficient.
Okay, so 2 years of inactivity is unexcusable because there was an opportunity to do other projects. Yes. Jay, you want to say something?
Well, I think your question was kind of broad, as there are many types of projects that a county engineer can be involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That firm or person handles a lot of business with y'all. But as
Exactly.
far as state aid projects are concerned, I think the gray area exists between one county engineer serving and then another board term, a different county engineer serving, might be programmed projects that were not built, for instance, right? So if the county may have paid the previous county engineer for preliminary engineering services or something like that, or under the county engineer's contract, associated with preliminary work that they've done that they haven't been reimbursed for,
Exactly.
that's depending on how the county handles it. If you've already paid the engineer for that work and then expecting reimbursement from state aid once the project is let, you should own that engineering information that comes with that. If you paid that person already and you're seeking reimbursement from state aid, that should be the county's license to provide that information to whoever the county engineer is. However, if you haven't paid that engineering firm already, and you're gonna seek, or you're gonna pay the county engineer after the project is awarded or let, or in the process, then that county engineer would own his or her information until they are reimbursed for it. So anyway,
In a situation where we get invoices, 20, 30, 40,000 for general services on a particular project, and there's no design work attached to it in time, it's turned in. And we, through a majority vote, those invoices are paid, but there's no documents in the clerk's office to support that expenditure. So what you're telling me is that we cannot seek any relief for those funds from state aid. Okay.
well,
Mr.
the way I understand it, Harry Lee, correct me, that happens, once the project fund is established.
Right.
So the contract is awarded, project fund is established, the county is then reimbursed because you pay the county engineer, right? So you're seeking reimbursement out of this new project fund that's been created from either a LSBP, SA, or SABP project. So I've heard about it and seen it done different ways. The county may pay the county engineer up front and seek funds as the job is let, or the county engineer retains the information, their work, and then is paid closer to the job, being let, and the county reimbursing whatever. So I think that's under the discretion.
And that's what I was saying. There wasn't a state aid issue. It was more of internal county issue because there was a year and a half transition period in which we did not receive anything as far as transition. State aid hit the nail on the head. It was a transition. You're supposed to have your project handed over. If they haven't, they were complaining they wasn't paid on certain items, so that was held up. We still don't feel like we want to hear now. We especially didn't feel like we want to hear in 2020. So it took a year and a half just to get anything done.
Mr. Anderson, I think I've been perfectly clear. I think I've been crystal clear about my position. Now, I'm still going by what's been said. If there were contracts that were let and the previous engineer wanted to complete those, there was nothing prohibiting you from moving on to other projects in this county, other work opportunities, not just being inactive for 2 years.
How can we have
Board,
that
I'm going to
board
say
approval?
this to you all. With the current engineering firm, you've only done 1.5 bridges, new construction. The Bree Street project, the first road project is under construction now. That's 4 years. Now, we're falling so far behind in infrastructure, we will never recover. We're on the prefaces of an opportunity in Washington County, and our infrastructure is not where it needs to be. We can't sell the county, we can't grow the county consistently staying behind and losing millions of dollars because of inactivity on infrastructure projects. It's got to stop. We've got to do something that's in the best interest of the taxpaying citizens in Washington County, people who allowed us this opportunity, people who we put our hands on the Bible and took a sworn oath that we would do the best and represent them, not ourselves or our personal interests. And right now, I know we've been long. I'm going to go around. I'm going to have to let Mr. Anderson finish as well. If there's anything else you all want to say,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to let you finish as well.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Anything else from the board? Mr. James, we appreciate y'all. If we'll be talking with you, so we're going to need a lot of help, especially with some of the money we're about to lose. Early, we'll have to have a conversation.
Thank you for the opportunity to come up here and show you what you are about to do. And that's what we're here
Understand.
until that project goes to contract and that fund is established.
Understand.
So,
Understand. Ms. Anderson, would you please?
Okay, you had made the statement that we're moving in the opposite direction.
We're not
On
moving at all.
infrastructure.
We're not moving at all, but go ahead.
Right, so I would like to ask Mr. State Aid, you know, at the beginning of our term, we started with 40 closed bridges. It's a priority as far as closed bridges, right?
that's up to the county.
Okay.
It's up to the county.
It's a priority for closed bridges. If you have 40 closed bridges, the county made a priority to get as many bridges open as we can. That's a lot of bridges closed. We're down to 20, right? We cut it in half. So you're saying that you're not progressing as a county as far as infrastructure. You just made this statement.
Yeah, we're
And
not
then
progressing with, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You just made the statement. We're not.
did, and you're not. Go ahead.
We're not moving forward.
Right.
And we're asking now 15 bridges, new bridges, to be programmed. So out of the 20, we're asking for 15. That would leave the county with only 5 bridges closed.
Okay. Mr. Anderson, over the last 4+ years, how many new bridges have you built? Don't worry about it, I know. Mr.
We don't worry
Anderson,
about
over the
new
over
bridges,
the
we
over the
worry about
last
open bridges, sir.
over the last 4 years, our county road crew, our bridge crew, the county's bridge crew, without your assistance, have put in culverts,
Not true, sir.
have put in bridges, and done what they need to do. Right
Without
now,
engineering.
there's one going in my district, where they've actually gone out and got the necessary release from the Corps of Engineers, process of having the utilities moved, and they're gonna be doing this work. But to have the current county engineer claim credit for projects where he's been extremely invisible or very little presence.
Sir, please don't
is
say it
unac-
in the public. I mean, that's
The
bad.
facts, I can't lie about the facts. I can't lie about the facts.
You shouldn't have a
Brooks.
bridge not designed by engineer
Ms. Brooks.
over the public work. That's a safety concern, sir. You shouldn't say that
Well, Mr.
we
Anderson,
have
when I-
bridges in Washington County not designed or looked at by engineers. So
Okay.
that's
But-
not good for the public.
When I look at the bridge that you put in over on Bree Street, that's out of alignment and too narrow, I'm not impressed, Mr. Anderson. Go ahead.
Mr. Perry, thank you for coming, because I'm glad I didn't know about the $1 million. So what action do we need to be taking next to try to change the situation where we keep these dollars? Because clearly we need them in our county. Of course, you know, we're one of the most impoverished areas in the county. So I guess the concern is, what do we need? Do we need to pay some type of order?
That's right. That's the only way to stop the flood.
Is what?
Pay the
Let
price.
projects.
Let project.
Spend your
Let
money.
project. Spend the money.
It's like cut a vein on your arm.
Yes,
or
sir.
artery.
So,
Stop the bleeding.
all right, I guess the thing is, the things that Mr. Anderson has submitted so far to you guys, what do we need to do next? He needs to just reply on everything that's been submitted.
So the board needs to get an accurate accounting of where you stand on each of the
Projects.
existing programs, okay, exactly where you are in the process. I'd be happy to provide that information. I can also send you dates for emails and correspondence. I spent 10 years with PennDOT. I've been with State Aid for going on 5 now, right? State Aid's a very responsive organization. When documents are submitted to us, it's 2-week turnaround time, maybe for the more complex plan reviews, these kinds of things. I think most of the people that work with us, engineer-wise, would say that, you know, our process is fairly smooth and efficient. So, in many cases, we reach out to request information. If we, you know, ask for additional information, we don't get it. We'll then reach out and say, hey man, where's this document? This is what's holding you up. Because we do not ever say, or it's not my job. It's lost somewhere in the process, you know. If Lorenzo or any other county engineer contact me, I mean, I get out of my chair and walk to roadway and see where that is. They get an answer immediately or relatively quickly as far as these things go. So but for your education and a status of all these right-of-way situation. So we can get the assembly sitting on the shelf, but it won't be advertised until the right-of-way and utilities are taken care of. That's completely out of our hands.
All right. Want to thank you all for coming up.
You
Is
got a
there any-
card. A card.
Yeah, well, thank you all for coming up, and we'll be in touch.
What's your number?
Thank you.
No, no.
Anytime.
Jay.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. We did make some adjustments to the agenda. Did we move Mr. Warren up?
Yes.
Mr. Warren, if you would, please. Sorry about that.
Good morning.
Morning.
Very brief.
I don't believe it would come up.
I am. What you're getting is an email. We doing our softball budget. We just need approval for the softball budget for the officials and the softball umpire manager, Lyndon Gaston Jr. So budget is for $6,000 to be approved for softball.
Where's the money coming from?
That's what we received. That's what we received from the dues that they pay.
Oh, their league fees,
League
registration.
fees, yep.
How much did you
Really
get?
got in.
I think we got it right at 6,000.
That's what you want to prove.
Yep.
I need a motion.
Some of 'em.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? These monies would be used to promote adult softball at the park, and they stand within what they've been collected and they paid. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I have a
Now,
question.
quickly,
Yes, sir.
what's the approval to make sure umpires are paid timely? The approval amount today.
What's the approval amount?
Mm-hmm. That's you just got a budget approved.
Correct.
Were you intending to go ahead and just spend money out of it?
No, what we're going to do is, because I haven't gotten any pay sheet for the umpires for softball, so they'll be on the claim doc for the next. But we do have me and her got a system. We got a perfect system now.
My phone was just,
Yeah.
don't y'all stop that.
There's a Lil League.
Yeah, but I'm in so much trouble in this county.
No. The issue isn't. Issue ain't the system. It's the issue is being submitted by the people
All right,
who's supposed to submit it.
Please make it go away.
We got it. We got it.
Anything else you need from us?
I do have on the agenda about a celebration day. We're gonna scratch that. We're gonna move it into July. I know we're gonna have some people out of town, so we're gonna move it into July, and we'll send y'all an email on the update day.
Wonderful.
Keep them posted.
We'll do.
I want to know this, Washington County, Little League Baseball,
Yes.
they went to this South Haven,
Yeah. They went to a couple of places.
but they spent the whole weekend in South Haven.
Okay.
They came back and played.
Correct.
They need one of these 10-year-old kids
Correct.
was hitting home runs in a field that never been hit from one.
Okay.
We're gonna handle all that on the celebration day.
Wonderful.
We're gonna handle all that.
Can't miss Kate.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Warren.
yeah, we're
Thank
gonna
you, Mr.
handle all
Warren.
that.
You need us, holler.
Thank you.
Where am I now? Where am I now? That was Mr. Warren. Where am I now? On the agenda. Where am I now? Justin Birch is not here. Daniel Hooker, floodplain.
Morning.
Morning.
So I come today, what we need is, in response to a letter that we got from FEMA, on May 20th, 2024, they have finalized the Deer Steel drainage study that will revise our flood insurance rate amounts. And, as noted in this letter, there's no significant changes, maybe a few, edges and boundaries of the flood, plain as they had it mapped previously may have changed just a little bit. Nothing to worry about. The only thing that we need now is to authorize, the board to authorize the president to sign an updated, flood damage prevention ordinance. And, nothing has changed as far as that. The only thing, as far as any requirements or, anything of that nature, we're looking at strictly a date issue. So we've changed the date of our ordinance, which will be reflected to August 28th when the new firm becomes effective. And then there's one other spot in here where it changed, it just recognizes the August 28th date. And so that's all that will change, and we just need that to keep in compliance with the Federal Emergency Management Agency. So that's all I need is an order today.
I have a question. You said the August 28th date. Why that date?
that was just a date that lined up with all of their, scheduling. So according to, the Federal Emergency Management, when you change things, you have to go through all the processes where you have to have public meetings and this, that, and the other. All that has been done. It's just that, and we are through with the 90-day review period. They just scheduled so many days after that last 90-day, review period before it becomes.
And that's the only thing that changed.
That's the only thing that changed. And and also with that in mind, they just started another one, the sunflower, drainage study, which I think maybe one panel will be revised, if it is even revised, in Washington County. So we'll be looking to do this same thing probably 2 years from now.
Any questions for Ms. Hooker? Nina?
I got another question. I know we got different flood planning districts. I guess I'm trying to go back to the flooding districts in Leland behind Peyton Drive. I'm not sure what it's called. And so I know it's been flood. I guess I'm trying to identify the flooding situation. It goes into the bayou.
Mhm.
So
Is that inside the municipality of Leland?
some of it is
Some of
and
it
some
is.
of it's not.
Okay.
And so I guess my concern is, will there be a study for that area?
Typically not a small area study like that. This
But actually,
last one-
Bayou is, even though it's their area, but it's really mass because it goes out to the county over there. I can't
Probably
think.
eventually gets into Deer Creek though.
Yes, it does.
So, I would say if, when they came in and they flew their, elevation data and they created their models, if it's, hadn't been something new, a new ditch that was, dug or drainage or something like that, then they probably picked up all that information and it was reflected in this study, and they didn't seem to change anything. Now, this is just for the countywide flood, elevation level, but if there was some specific need of a project needs to be done for drainage in particular, that would be something, that the county would look at or the city of Leland would look at.
Also going out to Forest Acres, that
Mhm.
area, of course, they got some areas where there's no drainage at all for
Mhm,
them.
mhm.
Did they include that area?
Well, they included the area, but they didn't look to see, according, for this study, they didn't look to see how they could improve the drainage. They just took the
Okay.
existing
All right,
information, incorporated into this.
thank you.
Is there no other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous. And we'll get that signed, Daniel, and
Okay.
get it in
Let me,
place.
let me go back and change the, vote on the back of this, and I'll bring it back, and, you can sign it, and then I'll go from there. I'll do that, before.
Change the vote.
I'm sorry, record the votes on the way we
Okay.
have it forward, just record the vote,
Okay.
and then, I'll bring it back for, here in the next couple hours for your signature.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Jacob Johnson, County Road Business Plan.
Morning, y'all.
Hey
Good
now.
morning.
I have a business plan, business idea I just wanna run by y'all. It allow more jobs to come to Washington County and may help y'all out in the long run by what I just heard about the bridge plan. It's a power rake idea with a skid steer. Just for the county gravel and dirt roads. Contract that out. I work for Twin County, I'm a lineman. We contract our right of way out. So they can do the tree trimming, tree clearing out and all that stuff. I know y'all do contracts out with grass cutting and everything else. Why not contract the dirt and gravel roads out? Instead of grading them yourselves, have someone else grade them. It'll take time from Washington County's district and just worry about all their paved roads.
I have a question. How many gravel roads and dirt roads do we have?
It's over 200 miles.
I would be willing to say, you know that for sure? Okay, 'cause I'd be willing to say it's probably even more so than that. But
I
the
know it's
reason,
over.
yeah. the
You're not
reason
talking
that-
about chip and seal?
No, there's gravel and dirt. is what you do.
Back
No.
roads.
Well, and two, in theory, that does sound really good. We've even thought about, we've looked at everything from, grass cutting to those type things. you know, and here's the difference that I see on that. Of course, we've already invested, you know, millions of dollars in graders and
Yeah.
things like that. Matter of fact, a couple of years ago, bought 2 new graders and that. You know, you look at that, what we can do right now, if somebody works for Washington County, the president or anybody sitting around, any of the board members, for the most part, they can pick up the phone and say, hey, go out to Flanagan Road or whatever and run the grade. And pretty much that's gonna be handled quickly. The downside I see to that is when you do that and you're contracted out, well, they're not gonna be at your beck and call like that. When you contract something out, okay, you know, we're gonna do this road today, this road tomorrow, and they've got a business to run, and I understand. So, in theory, yeah, it does sound good. In reality, I just don't think, we've got so many, and, do we need to do a better job on some of them? Yes, there's no doubt. And, we do, you know, like I said, we're trying to improve that, daily, trying to do that. But I appreciate the thought of it, and really, I mean, you know, and you come presenting this.
We got the
And
road.
again, and not say in the future it may not happen, but I just see that, like I say, when we do have a problem, we can call the road manager, the assistant
Yeah.
road manager, or whatever, say, go street. And that happens daily, does. You can ask everybody sitting around, that probably happens daily. I
Yeah.
just don't see that happening to somebody that we contract something out to, you know. If we've got an AC problem over here, we do have a guy local, I mean, that works for us, we can call and say, run over and check that out. It's a lot different if we wanna call a contractor to come in here and look at it, well, okay, we'll be there tomorrow or something like, so that's where we
Yeah.
run into the problem is, but we have a lot, I'd like to say 200 miles plus road, but that would be my drawback on it.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
We just studied that land.
Stir it up a little bit.
We just studied.
Study his plan.
Oh, could study the plan.
I know,
I mean, it's
like,
fine, yeah, I
getting-
wouldn't mind looking at it.
You got a copy?
I have it written down on a computer. I brought the written sheet I was going to just say to y'all this morning.
Yeah.
But you can look some of it up on YouTube, how it all works. It's pretty safe. It doesn't sling rock. It'll take the grass out of the center of the road.
Oh,
It'll
my
refill in the potholes, everything. And instead of having y'all's graders maintenance, the contractor that y'all contract out for would have his equipment maintenance.
Would you
And
email it to
everything, so
us?
I could.
I was gonna say, could you get and give her that information? She could send it out to all of us.
Right.
That information.
So we look
And
at
then
it.
we can at least look at it. I mean,
Yeah.
not to say we'll act, but we can at least. And we,
I know a lot of times getting our bucket trucks to a pole or something. A lot of times we have to get off and ride a four-wheeler to it or something because the gravel roads are just so bad. And her, for instance, this is my wife Chastity, by the way. She's a hospice nurse. A lot of times she's got to go down back road and everything, and it'll wear and tear a lot of vehicles up.
Right.
You know, and I'm not saying that the whole county's bad or anything by chance, but like say a lot of times I'm in Hollandale, then you got to go down to Glen Allen. That's a lot of area to cover, and then you got north of Greenville, everything. It's a lot of area.
Yeah. It's something in my district, Warren Road East, horrible. Fits what he's talking about.
I like the-
Tam Bureau is another road back past that. That farmers use and people tend to keep rutted up. I know we just took a couple of rough roads off of the county map, but there's so many dirt roads that Mark and his team don't get a chance to see, because right now I've got a couple of roads that have to be graded that are frequently traveled, but they're in horrible shape. And so it'd be good if these are our two equipment committee
Okay.
supervisors, Benson and Gordon. And so hopefully you can show them what you got, and we'll take a look and see.
Okay. I'll email y'all a copy of it and everything. And, I know, like, if y'all was contracted out, it'd be anybody's gamble on who got the contract, pretty much. But I'm just gonna run that by y'all.
Outstanding.
You know.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
y'all.
we
Have a good
appreciate
morning.
it. Get that to her. We'd be glad to look at. Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Okay. Now, Mr. Anderson, come on up, Mr. Anderson. That's number 7. We're down to the consideration of 4 SAP projects, 7 LSBP project, and 7 SABP project, authorizing county officials to sign same.
You should have the whole package. I had turned it in.
Is this what you just gave me to?
No,
No.
it is, it's with the funding. It, you
you reviewed this?
This one, this packet?
We done had it for a month.
Is it- No. Is this Ms. Anderson? Is that it, Mr. Anderson?
Yes, the whole package that, Ms. Vernon.
Yes, yes. What is that? All right, what is that?
Like, State Aid just mentioned, this is for the funding we got this year to go ahead and program your roads and your bridges now. So you won't be talking about later on, we don't have enough time, to get the project done. So I've been
Okay.
trying to get this since April.
Be careful. Be
So-
very careful. Lee, I'm sorry.
You need to be
This is what
careful.
we've been discussing. Again, and maybe you sent it to me, I hadn't seen it, but which ones are my, I mean, which,
I'ma do what I
which
wanna
ones
do.
are in my
Don't go
district?
you
Because
somewhere.
Cox Road, you had one of them, and I don't want, I mean, that is basically just a dirt road going through a field. I mean, I got other ones that I would like to do besides, that's why I asked for that, all of in my district, not the ones you got programmed, but the ones that's
I
all
sent-
in my
I
district. Did
sent
you
it
send
to
that to us?
Yeah, your
Email?
last week.
Okay.
And I
You did-
asked,
I
for
saw
everyone to submit it
mine.
Friday. But like State Aid just mentioned,
You pushing it back again.
until you advertise, you always can add or subtract. So let's have the minutes say, just like I wrote out, those bridges to do. Let's do those. Submit it to them. And then when you get your bridge that you want to add or you want to take off, which I'm not going to submit the Cox form since you said you already don't want to do it.
Yeah,
It's a working document, so once you get that, let's approve these roads and bridges today. Start the process, submit that to State Aid,
Right.
so, because it'll be a while before they respond and everything.
Could you identify all the roads so it can be officially in the record what the 4 SAP projects are?
Ms.
that's-
Burney has it.
Can you read them out loud, somebody?
He can. How many roads and bridges is this, Mr. Anderson?
I know
Total 18?
let me see that,
Yes, 18,
yes,
yes.
yes.
Can
How
y'all
many
read
were you
everything out?
discussing before, Mr. Anderson? Is this an addition to what we discussed tonight?
It's the same.
It's the same.
I know the paving road is from, old Highway 61 we left off, going north, I think it's Wilcox.
Board, are you all familiar with these roads and comfortable with voting on this today?
I would like to hear him call out every project, cause there was a concern from the last time.
Is that
so
the pleasure of the
officially call
board?
it out.
At the pleasure of the board.
I don't have a problem with them calling them out or not, but here's the thing I was looking for, and I see this, Lorenzo, and two, and I'm sure we can move on until we, but here's what I'm asking for, and I still don't see it. Yeah, I see exactly what roads you're applying for or sending to State Aid. What I don't see is what other roads that I have out there that I can supplement.
That's the
those
other
for.
file. There's a bridge plan file. It
You
lists
send it along with that, with this?
Yeah, everything's together.
So like on that Cox Road, on the Cox Road, if I wanna take that bridge and supplement, put another
Right.
bridge in. But alright, so here's the other, which I know all bridges have to be fixed at some point.
Yeah.
That's without a doubt. But on some of those,
I can read that. I guess.
well, I guess too, on those too, I'd like to see what districts they're in too, because again, on the SAP and stuff like that, Carl mentioned one that was Club 17 Road, correct? So it's nowhere on this list?
No, cause we're doing that in-house. We actually gonna try to bid that in 2 months. Club 17.
The Club 17.
I wouldn't want to start the process with LSB because it's gonna be longer.
Okay.
But, the roads are, Macmillan Road. I'm going with the LSBP first.
Okay, let me write them down so I can officially go in the minutes for myself.
He got the list.
Oh, you got the list? Okay. Where's the list? Right here, okay.
All right, and two, what district is McMillan Road in?
I have to.
You ain't got to read it, I know we had this, okay. I'd like to make the motion that we move forward with the SAP 4 projects, the SAPB 7 projects, LSBP 7 projects that's on this under advisement June 3rd and have it spread across in the minutes.
I got a motion? I need a second. All right, I got a second. Mr. Anderson, down here on the LSBP project 7 on the very bottom, you got Huntington Point Road. Mr. Johnson, where are we with that bridge? I'm sorry.
We are currently waiting on a access road approval from the Lorenzo's. Lorenzo's been working on that for
How long you been working on that?
a month and a half.
This is at Huntington Point, right?
Yeah, we need to be able to get across it once we start building.
Okay, how much longer is that gonna take to get that approval, Ms. Dan?
When does the district meet, second Tuesday?
Second.
I'm gonna have it before the second Tuesday. But that doesn't mean a bridge is gonna go there because we have to work with, Huntington Point is a couple 100 feet away from the levee. That's what we keep on.
Let me help you with that one. We've already worked with the engineer from the levee board. He's given the okay.
I need to see that in writing.
It's not, I don't know who you are, but we'll get it for you.
But
Not a
he's
big deal.
right. I want to see him writing too.
No, but we got it.
Because
That's
people
not a
have
problem at all.
selective amnesia.
But Mr. Gordon, wherever your road is, I'm gonna add it on. It'll be just a different program. I just,
The bridge.
yeah. Well, we have to come back before the board and get the approval.
Okay.
All right.
You have a motion in second, sir.
Yes. You all finished with your conversation? Yes. No one else? Thank you, Ms. Brooks. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else for Mr.? All right. We've got Mr. Warren already. We have some additions. Ms. Lee is not here. What are the additions to the agenda? I'm gonna go ahead.
You mean finish this right here?
10.
You can get 10 or 11.
All right. Well, okay. We get 10 to consider approval for waiver without a horse arena. What's this here? For the Mississippi Forest. This you, Tommy? Ms. Brooks? Ms. Brooks, this you?
Yeah, I guess so. So move.
Tell me let's discuss it.
I'm not familiar with
Consideration
this.
approval of waiver for use of why you say the outer arena?
The outside arena, the practice arena.
Yeah. And not the inside?
She said she's not
Yeah.
familiar with it.
But just not, give them access to the arena period.
So move.
That's a motion, everybody
For
understand?
the whole arena.
Yeah, for the whole arena. Everybody understand? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. We also have another, consider approval for serving alcoholic beverages at the Washington County Convention Center for the Leland Homecoming Club. Their reunion is July 12th, 13th of this year.
Yes, so move.
Got a motion? And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any approved? I got one nay. Okay, now, back to the additions. I know I got Mark Johnson and I got Ms. Thompson. Ms. Thompson, you come on. Mark was slow.
Wow.
I got Ms. Redmond too.
Thank you.
I'm just coming before you all to get approval. We have a summer program that's taking place for ECAM and for the Mississippi Policy Conference. We do have the money in our budget. With the two trainings that we're trying to attend, some things have changed with legislation for the election commissioners and elections for 2024 that's upcoming. So we wanted to attend those two conferences.
What? Talk to us about the first conference.
First conference is the ECAM summer training, which will be held in Philadelphia, Mississippi. We do 2 trainings a year, certification at the beginning of the year, and then the second training is actually anything that may come up on the upcoming elections on that year, or new information that has come down, which we've had a couple of changes that have been made through legislature that will affect this 2024 election.
So you're saying that's at the policy conference as well?
Well, in the policy conferences, what they're talking about is some upcoming things that may take place in the 2024 election, education and training.
Everybody understand? Questions, comments? Need a motion?
So moved.
And a motion and a second. All in favor of the 2 trainings? What's the total amount?
The total amount for both is going to be $9,894.24.
Everybody understand? Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? I'm gonna be the only nay. Because of the policy conference, no, you know, money's tight. Can't approve it, I'm gonna be the only nay. That motion carries with a 4-1. Anything else?
That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Wait.
I did, Jay, did you ever make any headway on, changing the precinct?
I did,
Need training.
This ain't no training.
That's Congressman
Stop
Thompson.
playing, this is no training.
That is a training.
Training and policy.
Yeah. Like I said, no training. Y'all stop playing.
That is training.
Getting difficult out here, Mr.
This space for JK is
Even like-
smaller than the other chambers. That's not
Getting difficult out here with these
Wait,
laws.
wait till you get the budget session, you'll understand.
fabricated air in there at some point.
Okay, planning department,
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna hold you a little bit longer, Mark.
Good morning.
Good
Yeah.
morning.
Twin County, they're applying for a right-of-way for the utility along Riverside Road. And that's it.
I got a motion and a second. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, that's unanimous. Anything else, Ms. Redmond? Mark Johnson? Mark?
Good morning, good
Hey.
morning. First of all, I have a, we have a Dodge truck, a dump head truck with tow mix out of it. Transmission went out on it. We have two quotes. First quote is James Serrani, for, let's see, make sure I got the price right. It's $8,450. And the second quote is Cannon Dodge at $9,950. Transmission for a Dodge.
For the dump bed, Dodge.
Dodge 3500.
3500.
How many miles on?
Like 102.
That's not a lot of miles. Yeah, I remember we bought that
It was
truck.
full of fluid, the fluid was black.
You tow with it?
Huh?
Do you tow anything with it?
Yeah, we hold a call, yeah, I think it tows the coat this time.
Y'all haul the Bobcat sometimes, pull it behind it.
We pull the trailer with the Bobcat, so.
Everybody don't know how to use tow mode. It'll tear it up every time. All right. Was it- Grill. All right, I got a motion and a second. Any questions?
I don't think you had a motion yet. Motion.
Give me a
to
motion.
Accept the lowest bid of $8,450.
All right, $8,450, everybody understand that's the motion? Can I get a
That's
second?
new transmission.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Is that installed?
Sorry about
also?
that.
No, we're gonna put it.
What is
Okay.
it?
It was like
What's that?
11.5 for them to do.
All right, anything else?
Yes, also have a steel wheel, roller, injection pump, went out, quote from Thompson Machinery is 12,000. And I had a second quote at 13,203 from C&M Services.
Questions, comments?
I'm sorry, I was reading something. Can you say that again, please?
Yeah, steel wheel roller, injection pump problems, had to replace the injection pump and the water pump. Is Thompson Machinery is 12,000, and C&M Services second quote was 13,203.08.
Motion go with the second.
Got a motion and a second. Everybody good? Got a motion and a second. Everybody good? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
What are you
Motion
using?
carries.
If you got it,
It's unanimous.
what are you using?
That's the cheapest.
Laura? It's on you.
One more thing, we have I talked to the equipment committee, on some trucks, the replacement of 2 trucks. We do have the money in the budget. The first quote is from, Chevrolet right in Greenville is $56,510. And the second quote is, $59,745. To find the same exact trucks, it's in Arkansas, it's Hug Chevrolet in Arkansas,
Is that, what type trucks are those?
2500 HP.
And where are you gonna use them at?
we're gonna, they help out pulling the trailers and stuff like the Bobcat and everything, yeah, cause the 1500s will be, we're wearing them out pretty bad.
Are these, they're the XLTs, XL?
They're just, SLs.
SLs, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The two trucks that we found is, the first one, let me get this right here. One of them is like $1,000 more than the other that Chevrolet had. So, the second set of quotes is Chevrolet for $57,720 for the second truck.
So this was just for one truck?
Yeah, that was for that one.
You couldn't get two like this?
They didn't have exact, they're a little bit different, in like, one of them may have a chrome bumper, maybe one may have a pump hanger bumper.
What difference would it make?
It's just the price and difference, like a chrome bumper from a painted bumper or something like that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you said both of them 50.
Well, that was a quote for the first truck.
They didn't have but
The
one of
second-
those?
Yeah, and there was one of that one, that was a white one, and then the other one is a white one, but it's, got a chrome bumper on it. He didn't have another one with a painted bumper,
Okay.
like a government style, so it's a little difference in the price.
First one is from where?
56,000, what was
Where
that?
from? Greenville.
Yeah, that's from,
And the second from where?
same Hug Chevrolet in Arkansas.
The lowest is Greenville.
Yeah, it's
Some will-
57,720 for
Some will
Greenville.
go to, lowest.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. No other questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The one from HUD would be 61,545. So it would be
That's
difference in,
$3,000 or $4,000
yeah,
difference.
it would be difference in, just for having a chrome bumper and a chrome back bumper on it.
Okay,
Yep.
y'all good?
Yep.
Everybody good? Mark,
Yes, on that.
you done?
I wanted to let y'all know, we've been, I took a few steps back, kind of prepping our roads a little better, maybe trying to help, because they're tearing up so bad after I was fixing them right back. So, we started like, 2 weeks ago, started trying to hot mix. And then it did rain, and then we come back into it, we started getting mix from, APAC. But Utah is buying so much mix every day, like 2,000 tons. And the last day that we had to run hot mix, we could only get 40 tons all day for 8 hours. It was like 35 trucks in front of us. We were trying to get in between.
They were all Utah.
Yeah, they're trying to do that bypass and they're running so close. When they was going to Leland, we was actually getting a little better time on doing it. So, they started back today, but they were gonna shut down at 12 today because of the rain coming. So tomorrow morning we can do that hot mix.
So we gotta be first.
We gotta try to get in line as quick as we can.
We gotta be up there early.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Problem
It's
is,
so
when you go
many
back to get
trucks.
some more,
Maybe you'll
you got
Might be-
trucks in
might
like
be
it.
20 trucks in front of us, so it may take 2 hours to get loaded. So,
All our trucks first. If they start loading up at 7, then we will be at 6.
me and the road foreman that's over that crew talked about that, but the second go round, it may be 2 hours. to get
I can
around.
see it. We're gonna get as many trucks loaded.
That's right, yes ma'am.
Y'all pick it up.
What about chip and seal?
We're gonna start chipping sealing in the morning too. It rained, we were gonna do this week,
Yeah.
and it rained on us this morning, so we were gonna do it this morning.
Okay.
So we were gonna do it.
If you need something from us, Mark, just let us know.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Appreciate you. Now, who was working with the 4-H Club and the horse arena? One of you?
So,
all?
I mean, the gentleman that comes in here sometimes.
I ain't talking about Lionel, I thought one of these guys. Oh. All right, let me give a Lionel, it says the inside practice arena, but even with that, and it's a barbecue cooking contest in there. You can't have small knives and utensils and stuff that you might leave in the sink. You're gonna have to kind of be guarded as to what they bring on into those areas where we have animals. Mark, you good, Mark? Now, we took number, which we took off?
Morning, how are you?
Took number 8 off.
I've got these position statements for Uncle Ben's. I did meet with Mr. Adger, and all of the equipment is on hand.
All right.
So,
Everybody understand?
Yep.
Need a motion to approve?
So moved to approve.
Got a motion and a second. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So Supervisor Brooks will waive my receipt. Anything else, Mark?
Thank you.
All right. There's a number 17 down here. Consider approval of revised interlocal agreement between municipalities of Washington County related to ad valorem tax and special assessment tax collection.
Yes, sir.
Didn't I see something about that already?
Yeah, I prepared a proposed order on that. Now, our
We've
code.
already talked about this. This is just
Right,
getting
yes.
There it is.
The revised one. The Attorney General sent them back because an issue we had in there that had been in there for years past. They said that shouldn't be in there, although Jim Hood's office had approved it.
Everybody?
Our COLA is not in there at this time, and the reason why our COLA has not
I'll get 'em to do
approved, and I'm sending these out because these are the ones that we actually collect money, fees from. Our COLA is not
Yeah,
paying us
definition.
a fee.
But
So
they
we-
pay us to do this, yeah.
Yes, we gonna send our COLAs out, and you'll get another order, a separate order on our COLA as soon as we get it back from our COLA.
So moved.
Got a problem, it's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. All right. Ms.
You
Carter?
just need us to fill that out, and that's it.
That's just, she has a copy, and just
Yeah.
put it in there.
She has
That's your copy.
That's
a
your-
copy
That's
for
my-
you.
okay.
Yeah,
that's
she gonna
a
pass
copy
the
for
master
you.
around.
Okay, gotcha.
Get
You
them
just
initial-
wanted us to see
Get
that.
them initial.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Carter.
Good morning.
Morning.
We have expended 68.8% of our budget through June 17th, compared to a plan of 75%. Total receipts deposited May 31st through June 15th, total $451,329.60. I am requesting board approval of our claims docket totaling $277,806.60.
Give me a motion,
So
somebody.
moved.
And a second.
Second.
Probably moved and seconded. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That was a low claim docket.
Wasn't,
Maybe the lowest one I've ever seen, really.
Requesting travel for county officials to attend the 2024 Mississippi Policy Conference on August 8th through the 11th in Tunica, Mississippi, with estimated cost of $5,000 and permission to use the county credit card.
5,000 each total? I'm gonna vote no. If you wanna go, you need to spend your own dollar. But
So-
hey, what's the pleasure?
So moved.
So, second.
Got a motion and a second.
Yeah.
You ain't never been.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
So Supervisor Brooks, waiting to see them will be 1 nay, but still, that's a 3-1. Motion carries.
This man had never been, so now all of a sudden he's gone.
Oh, that's the board of supervisors, right?
No,
yes.
that's a lawyer too,
What lawyer?
and the administrator.
Oh, you still a lawyer?
Until you vote me out,
Man,
they
hey,
take 3 knocks on the table.
$5,000
Yeah.
is what this is taking out.
Yep,
We're finna
the
go into
Alexander
budget.
said-
We're finna go into budget session. I'm sorry, Ms. Carter, if you would.
The Burton Hughes Juvenile Detention Center Director is requesting travel to attend the Juvenile Justice Symposium on August 7th through the 9th in Biloxi, Mississippi, with estimated cost of $752.60 with hotel and registration paid in advance.
So moved.
Got a motion? I need it, and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Show Supervisor Brooks waive my receipt. That's a 4. That's unanimous. With what's left. You ready, Ms. Carter?
Right. Judge Renita Johnson is requesting travel for Naisha McCray and Cassandra Robinson to attend the Juvenile Justice Symposium on August 7th through 9th in Biloxi, Mississippi, with estimated cost of $1,820.60 with funds to be expended by June 30th to close out the grants.
So moved.
Got a motion? And a second. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Judge Johnson is also requesting travel for 7 members of the Washington County Juvenile Intervention Court staff to attend the Mississippi Association of Drug Court Professionals conference on September 18th through the 20th in Natchez, Mississippi, with estimated cost of $5,879.16 with funds to be expended before June 30th to close out their grant.
So moved.
Got a motion? And a second. No questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Ms. Holmes, that's unanimous.
The circuit clerk is requesting travel to attend the 2024 Annual Circuit Clerks Convention on July 22nd to the 26th of Biloxi, Mississippi, and also to attend the Mississippi Policy Conference in Tunica, Mississippi on August 8th and 11th with an estimated cost of $3,000.
So moved.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, show a sign of aye. Any opposed? You can't vote 50-50 for the certification, but I'm still opposed to the policy conference expense. That's unanimous.
The coroner is requesting travel for Deputy Coroner LaQuisha Watkins to attend the 2024 Mississippi Coroner and Medical Examiners Conference on June 25th through the 28th, with estimated cost of $1,200 with the hotel and registration paid in advance.
Any question? I got a motion and a second. Thank you, Jerry. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Requesting approval to allocate fourth quarter funds to the tax collector, assessor, sheriff's department, and regional correctional facility.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And the tax assessor's office is requesting to enter into a new 48-month lease with Image Specialist for their new copier at $180 per month.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Judge Margaret Carey McCray is requesting the board to accept the retirement order for Circuit Court Administrator Angela Howard, effective June 30th, and appointing Rhonda Lowe as the Deputy Court Administrator effective July 1 and ending on September 30th, 2024 at $64,000 plus the benefits with Washington County paying its portion of 43% of the salary.
Is that the same salary the
Yep.
previous one?
So
Okay.
moved.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You can extend the congratulations on the retirement as well as the new opportunity. Coming back when?
90 days. That's why the other one's on assistant.
Oh, my God.
You can come back in 90 days.
Requesting approval to accept the circuit clerk's over-the-cap fees in the amount of $148,459 for fiscal year 2023 from our annual financial report.
So moved.
I got a motion and a second.
25%.
Outstanding.
Of your
All
salary.
in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And requesting county offices to be closed on Thursday, July
Keep the
4th, in
insurance.
the
That's
observance
the
of
key.
the Independence Day holiday.
So moved.
Got a motion. I got a motion and a second for July 4th, Thursday.
Yes.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the sheriff's department have a few requests. They're requesting to unmark 2 new vehicles in accordance with section 19-25-15 of the Mississippi Code that were recently purchased for their fleet in both Dodge and Ringo.
So moved.
I got a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
The second request is from the sheriff's department. They're requesting to make the following changes. Remove Davita Walker from all sheriff's office related accounts and add Chief Willie Martin to all related accounts. Remove Davita Walker from all grant delegations and add Chief Joey Barber when necessary. Council Davita Walker's fund as of June 30th. She retiring.
Oh, she was there.
Council Davita Walker's fund as of June 30th, 2024. Remove Davita Walker from ceasefire authorization and add Chief Billy Barber and place telephone number 662-822-8219 in suspension as of June 20th.
So moved.
June 20 or June 30?
I got a motion. I got a motion. I got a motion to approve and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
She gonna take early leave. June 20.
I have Ms. Lee's settlement for the month of May 2024 in the amount of $495,828.38.
Motion to accept.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second, Supervisor Brooks. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Just a few reminders on the report that's still coming up. The Fourth Circuit Intervention Court,
Ooh,
their
congratulations. Is it?
Got an idea now.
It is 2 o'clock?
Yeah, on the
At
17th.
2, and I also have,
August 8th is it?
now Whiskers 2024 Youth Festival will be held on July 28th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Tickets are $15.
Okay.
And that's it.
Lee?
We did that, when we receive, the fees over the cap on like the circuit clerk stuff, you know, when we budget last year, we don't average anything in that, this is just extra on top of that, cause we don't know until the next year. I didn't know if we averaged something in there from days gone by, so anything you see there is just a plus to the budget on that group. That's what I thought it was, just want to make sure.
Okay. Ms. Holmes?
Approval for, Don Stephen Shamoon as Sports Tech Commissioner.
Need a motion? And a second. And a second. Second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Me. I'm sorry. Motion carries, that's unanimous.
A request, for authority to send additional chargeback letters from the Department of Revenue. Initially, you all had approved it, and they just put these, I need permission to send them out. It's for,
Got a motion? And a second. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Motion carries, that's unanimous.
informing the board that we have received the audited financial statements and special reports for the year ending September 30th, 2023 from the Washington County Library System and from the Greenville Port Commission, and those have been sent to, our auditor.
All right.
And I have one more, release of a lien for Jeffrey Nick from the Department of Revenue that we received.
Well, explain to the board what that means.
If there's a chargeback, they send a release so that when they do the homestead, exemption, his exemption will be reinstated.
Everybody good?
We need to spread it in the minutes. We just need to spread it in the minutes. So we spread across the minutes.
Got a motion to accept?
All of those.
All of the full report.
Is that what you motioned?
Yeah.
Second.
And, okay, a motion to second, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed, motion carries. Okay, that's it, Chief. Chief? Oh, I'm sorry.
On your agenda, approval of initial resolution, number 16, that Mark Sears asked, presented position statement for. I need your approval on the initial resolution.
On each one of them.
And that was part of what he just handed us.
He has his position statement. I need the initial resolution approved for these 6 projects.
So moved.
Don't mar food.
Yeah, Mark verified that they were actually there.
Right, I'm saying, you gotta put it in the minutes, that's for mar food.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need a motion and a second.
You got a motion.
I got the motion. Thank you, Chair. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Sorry about that, Ms. Holmes. That's it? All right, that's it, Ms. Holmes, Chief.
Morning.
I forgot your-
Just wanna let y'all know I messed up this morning because I got stung in the head by wolf this morning. And they had me a little discombobulated, that's right. I
Leave
was
that alone,
coming out
Chair.
my door from my house. Anyway, thank y'all for praying for me.
Yes,
We want to spread this across the minutes, the meal log for May the 11th to June the 7th. It's going to be an amount of $13,932. And the one from last month is going to be an amount of $14,400. I don't think it was spread across the minutes, but we want to make sure we get it.
All
And
right, y'all got the number? You heard it? I need a motion to accept
So moved.
and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Documentation, you already submitted to the board.
Yes, already been submitted to Ms. Holmes, yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Brooks. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and the next order of business is that something that I've been saying about and been talking about is our Harvey Street project. Trying to see where we at, what we need to do.
The roof's
Since
all done and dry, everything.
The roof's done, and
Last I heard, they were gonna have some electrical, we were gonna have some electrical work looked at or something.
some electrical work,
in-house.
and
Have
then
we
we,
done anything there?
and then we're trying to get someone to bring the tin around the side. Nobody has
Right, what around the side?
some of the tin that
It's
need
coming off,
replaced around the
rusted
side, yes, sir. And nobody has come out to do anything with it.
Okay.
I did talk with Jeremy, I talked with his,
What was the feedback from,
his engineering guy that does his work, and he said that the board has not given them approval. And I said, I know the board gave y'all all authorities to get the building up.
Yeah.
So I need some help in this area. We need to get,
All right.
we need,
we'll give Mr. Smith. Go ahead, Lee.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it to Jeremy and.
All right, you gonna
and
get it?
I'll ride out there and we'll do it this week. And look
Okay.
at it and we'll holler at you or whatever. We'll all go out there and look and kinda see what needs to be done.
yeah,
That's
because,
kinda my cup of tea.
yeah, you know, the sheriff asked for you all to go and take a look and see what where the maintenance guy out there, where the car guy out there is working in now, that y'all look at their facility and see,
I have not.
anybody take a look at it? Out there where Kevin is working at. You ever looked at it, Ms. Brooks?
I've been
I've
out
been
there,
there.
but not recently.
Yeah, the shed, but go ahead.
Sir? Well, it's not the space, it's that, not only the space, it's that the place is coming down around it.
Oh,
So,
no, they can't have.
yes,
All
sir.
right, we'll check it out, Jay.
And also, we're wondering,
We'll get it, Chief.
also, we were trying to see where we at with the new building out there on Fairground Road. If we can go and take another walkthrough.
Let's do that.
We took a walkthrough with you and.
No, not with me.
Wasn't y'all gonna try to do some training or something out there?
Yeah, not with me.
Well,
Chief.
you? Okay.
Wasn't y'all gonna try to do some training and stuff, set up
Yeah.
something out there to have a training facility or something?
Yeah.
Let's make it happen this week, Chief. I'll be around all but one day. Now that we've got the graduation out of the way at 2 o'clock today, I didn't realize it was 17. But let's get together.
Okay. So you want me to give you a call?
Please.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Anything
But
else?
anyway, that's it, and we appreciate and thank you.
Okay. Lee, you good?
Yep.
Tommy? Ms. Brooke? Good.
Yes, we are.
I'll come back. Hey, man.
I need to make my appointment for board.
Okay.
Report on Yvonne Rash.
I got any motion to approve?
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. Give the administrator the information. I got a motion and a second. Yvonne, Yvonne, or Ms. Rash?
Yvonne Rash.
Yvonne, okay. We'll get the information to Ms. Carter and make contact, make sure I will. Thank you, Ms. Brooke. And we'll make sure she gets appointed. If there are no questions, all in favor of Ms. Rash's appointment? Show a sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Good job, Ms. Sorry.
The conference that we just attended this past week at MAS, it was very, very informative. But I did talk about use tax, and they did reiterate the importance of spending our dollars. But they brought it back to our attention that July 1, we could start back buying equipment. The legislation has changed, so I want to bring that to our board's attention. And they were very detailed on what equipment we can purchase, and I will get that to you, Ms. Carter, as well. But it was quite a few other things they discussed. But I want to encourage us when we go, make sure, try to go to these conferences, because it was so much good information. I took notes the whole time, and I I bring back to other things that I want to bring to the board, but I do want everybody to know that we can now use tax money for equipment. Thank you.
Jerry?
Well, I just want to let you all know that this Washington County will be based on to really, 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 these kids be 10 years old and go and spend a week and really play. And it really, I had a, I got to send me email that they really represented the county real well. Real discipline. And it's just good. Got a little young boy, saw the ball out in center field. Almost threw the man out his third day. That just upset everybody.
You go.
That happened to me. Kick me.
Your baby.
You good, Jerry? I'm sorry.
It's one other thing I forgot to bring up. Broadband. This is getting really, really serious. With the broadband, they will start the challenges July 8th, I think, or July 7th. They're getting ready to have this big meeting on how we're gonna be able to challenge the map. And the reason why I bring this back up because the concern is, and that's why Mississippi got so much money. We got the $1.8 billion where we can get broadband countywide. And right now, the map that has been presented on behalf of the state with Beam, the numbers are completely off with the Mississippi Delta. It's showing that almost 7% of the Delta, including Washington County, we have high-speed broadband in areas I know we don't have. So the concern is now for us to start educating ourselves on how the challenge is going to take place. They're only going to give us 30 days to challenge the map, and it's countywide. So we're going to be hearing more information about this, and it's more so, and how the challenge has to take place is they would have to have 8 challenges from one census tract, and that challenge had to take place 3 times that day, morning, lunch, and dinner. And so the biggest concern is how do we get the word out in all the census tracts in Washington County at this point on to ensure that we are going to be able to get broadband throughout our county. So I'm going to get additional information and I bring it to our board so we can find ways to be able to do the challenge. And I'm thinking maybe going through the schools, because and the other piece, you cannot do the challenge on your telephone. So the challenge is you go on your computer online and you do you type in the website and they'll monitor your broadband. And so when I found out you couldn't do use your telephones, that is a real concern because we have a lot of people who probably don't have a computer or laptop in their home. So the concern is how do we measure those people who don't even have broadband in their communities. And so as soon as I get additional information, I make sure I get it to our county administrator so we can send it across to everyone, because we want to ensure that we get broadband countywide, because this is dealing with economic development in the future, bringing any type of industry into our county, because everything is now tech savvy. Thank you.
All right. I guess you all know we got the AC unit on this past Friday in the convention center. It is blowing cool. So now the challenge is to get the other system up and going. There's still quite a bit of work to be done with some of the wiring that has to be straightened out in order to make sure the controls will work properly. But right now you have to manually shut it down in order to make sure it doesn't go down with a load, but they've gotten that work through. And while it's running, we have to have a periodic check on the system just to make sure nothing's going on wrong, that the sound hadn't changed on the compressor or the chillers. Still got water flow and everything, but it's going along well. Now, the floor project with DHS. I know we've been talking about that for a while, trying to get it done. And the latest thing that happened was communication with them that they had need to shut down mid-July and be out of the property during the construction phase. What DHS was planning to do is move those services out of Washington County to surrounding counties. Sharkey, Sunflower, Bolivar, other counties. And, you know, the community that uses that service is somewhat distressed already. And that was just a little bit more than what we wanted to put the citizens through. So I thought it important that the board be made aware and have an opportunity to make an alternative offer. With the board's permission, if you all would allow it, that we offer the 4 meeting rooms at the convention center and the executive suite at the convention center during this 3-month plus period of time for them to vacate that property, move into the convention center, and continue to provide services, much needed services, to Washington County citizens here in Washington County. Now, I've already checked, and there's no conflict with usage in the 4 meeting rooms and the arena. What the board would have to agree to is allow people to move their event from the 4 meeting rooms to the arena with no additional charge. No additional charge. And now, if they will still have to have time, DHS, I mean, at their expense, to come in and set up their infrastructure, at the convention center in order to make sure they have a smooth transition from the Main Street location to the convention center. And they'll be there for 3 months, whatever it is, 3 months that it may take. But they won't be forced to leave the county. And that's what I'm asking the board to allow the offer to be made to DHS. Hopefully they'll accept it versus moving out of the county.
So moved.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I encourage them to do that because we don't want to make it hard on our citizens trying to go to a neighboring county
No.
when we have space.
What we'll do is kind of get with them and make that offer to them. Don't know if they'll accept it or not, but once they do, they'll have to get with Rod and their person and Mr. Anderson to make sure this transition happens, to keep that service here. Okay, so we'll get with them today and make the offer, and we'll see what they come back with. But right now, you know, to have them move out of the county is completely unacceptable. Glad y'all decided we could do that. I guess over the weekend, most of y'all heard about the remote control air show that happened at the convention center property. Right now, you have a group of enthusiasts who've been in the community for a number of years. And if you're familiar with the convention center property and how, just like when you come down the area where you have the RV hookups, that's the runway. But it continued on quite a ways. And right now, we have it disrupted with agricultural land where we allow farmers to we lease the property, but there's still a section out behind that you can't hardly see where they actually put on these remote control air shows and competitions. What we like to do is see if it's possible, if they would have an interest in coming up a little bit closer. If you stand at the racetrack in the back door of the convention center, everybody knows where the emergency tower is. There's a piece of an airstrip right in there still that we can fix up, do an overlay on. But what it will do is to bring an opportunity for them to actually come into a legal agreement with us to be on the property and to have access to RV hookups and more parking when they have these competitions.
Can you explain the competition? I don't understand.
Oof. It's aeronautical aerobatics, and I'm probably saying it wrong. But when the planes are flying, all of a sudden they'll flip like this. They'll do wild stuff.
That's wonderful.
Things that I can't imagine. But this weekend it was real heavy. They had it on the newscast.
Air
And
show, that's what you're talking about.
It's an air show, but it's not like aeroplanes. Remote control aircraft.
Okay.
They're probably this big, some smaller. They probably get a little larger than that. But what we'll do is find out when they have a practice or a small competition that the board know you all can go out and see. But I also want to ask them or see what we've got, if we can make an offer to give them in a better spot so they can grow.
So moved.
Grow the competition. Probably move to second.
Are we allowing them to be out there right now
No, I already told them they can't do it. We're working through that. Right now, they've been out there, but they have to get agreement with us, and yes, that's in the works.
Okay.
All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And that's part of this, Griff, to make sure that
Yeah.
everything's right.
Okay.
Now, a few weeks ago, we all got an invitation from a Bishop Charles Turner to attend an award ceremony. And he wanted to just say thank you for the service that you do in the community. Because a lot of us, including myself, was extremely reluctant to participate, didn't know who Bishop Charles Turner was or Charles Turner is, and, you know, after doing research and checking things out, you know, a couple of us committed to go ahead and attend the function. It turned out to be a great function. It was at Buster Brown on a Friday evening, and he basically wanted to take the time to recognize community servants who did respond. Of course, you had Miss Lee from here who responded and was given an award. You had Supervisor Redmond who responded, and they wanted you to have this for your community service, Mr. Redmond.
Congratulations.
They also wanted to recognize the sheriff for his contributions and to say thank you to Sheriff Gaston, and also Ms. Hansel for her service. This bishop was being awarded by his church, and they will give him a blessing. Is that what you call it, Tommy? Yeah, a blessing. But he wanted to take his blessing and spend it on people who he admired that worked in the community. Of course, he contacted everybody around, mostly everybody around this table.
I didn't get a contact.
Well, we were a little reluctant because we didn't know who he was, anything about him.
I wasn't reluctant. This is my first time hearing about this.
Okay. But it was just not this board, it was the council members and other people across the community, and a number of people showed up. And he took the time to just wanted to say thank you and thank all of you for what you do in service to this community.
That's wonderful.
And so I told him we do appreciate it. I would make sure you all got those. And since I just happened to show up, he gave me one of these fancy mugs. Fancy mugs. I would, but I'm keeping this. But I just want to say thank you to Bishop Charles Turner. I think we've gotten everything.
Nope.
We got an executive session. Yep, that we're going to have to go into. Jazz, you good? All right, Ms. Hanson.
With the order that you all passed, I think Bernadine has there's two forms you need to sign. You just sign it as soon as possible. SASB and the LSVP. It's on the back of those.
You got them. You got two forms we need to sign. SAP project. Yes, you do? We need to go ahead and sign them. All right, we'll get those signed right away.
You can make copies, but I know it's a lot of forms, so if you get one signature for everybody with the SASB and the LSVP, then we can make copies of them.
Oh, Ms. Brooks, 17. All right, if there's nothing else, we're going to go into an executive session right now to discuss contract negotiations.
Potential contract
And potential
negotiations and
litigation.
among other.
Among other things.
Yes.
All right,
potential litigation
I need a
as
motion to
well.
go into close, that's our intent for it. I need a motion to go into executive session. And I got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And we'll announce we're in executive session. All mics and everything, recording devices are off.
Okay. When was it?
appropriate action on a couple of issues, and, of course, we'll receive feedback on that. And if there's nothing
We
else,
move out.
we're gonna go ahead and adjourn for this month.
Can I get something before you
Come
go?
on with it.
July the 24th, we'd like to request the executive room at the convention center. Permission of the Department of Public Safety, along with other sheriffs and this area.
No, they won't be able to move that fast. If they do, we'll have to do something with it.
July 24th?
Huh? Yeah, I know, he's talking about
Look.
DHS.
Oh,
I don't think they can move that fast.
With
But see,
respect to,
the executive suite will be something for them to have those personal meetings with us company. Yes. All right, got the, all in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I got you.
We out of here.
Let you get the money.
Bishop, you taking all that with you? Damn,
I have a vision.
you got it.
I help you.
Hey, y'all,